Hey people, today we are going to take a look on a Fury Druid build that I have. I have this build non-ladder, but then they released this item and I just had to farm all over again all the items for my Druid. Even if I have non-ladder, I will show that character. I have nearly all weapons, all the best gear and so on, and I have to farm that all again for ladder. But it was fun. Anyway, let's start with this item, and that's Metamorphosis. It is a new rune word that is really epic for any shape-shifting druid. You can be Werber or Werewolf, but you can have both of these marks active at the same time. It just gives massive bonuses. It gives Crushing Blow, it gives 5 to shape-shifting, it even gives cannot be frozen, so you do not have to have Raven Frost. And this is in 3 to Fury base, because I'm Werewolf Druid. I think plus 3 to Fury bases are the best for this rune word. And I will talk a little bit more about this later, how to get both marks and so on, but this is really epic help. And we have, you saw this maybe on my channel, making of this rune word. I'm really happy about this, because in general there are a lot of weapon options you can do with Fury Druid or Werber Druid, because you do not have a specialization like Barbarian. You can have swords, you can have maces, you can have anything, and it just works. And I think Breath of the Dying is the best rune word, especially because now you can have Crushing Blow on your helm. Before this, best in slot was Jalal's main in your helm. Now you have Metamorphosis that gives Crushing Blow, and I really don't think you need a Last Wish or anything that gives Crushing Blow as your weapon, just because of that. And then next best option is Breath of the Dying. It just gives insane bonuses to damage to your... And this is a good roll, very good roll, don't get me wrong. So, we have Breath of the Dying, then we have Fortitude. Of course, in armor you can have Chains of Honor as well, here. I mean, this is the goal you can have. This all gear I show you, this is the goal you can have. You can have much cheaper gear. You can have Rib Cracker here, you can have Treachery here, you can have Jalal is like a pool, something like that. You can have much cheaper version of this build, but I'm going to show you more expensive option of this build, like best in slot, and things that you put yourself a goal to achieve in this game. We have Dracul's Grasp. These are 1510. You can buy lower version of this for a Mal rune or for one rune. I mean, they can be cheap. 10 to 15 are more expensive. They're like Vex or something like that. Because you do not have to have Raven Frost anymore, in my opinion, I took 2 Bulkato's Wedding Band. I mean that's next best thing, because all 2 skill gives you attack rating, damage and all that stuff, and you get life leech. For belt, I mean, you do not have to have Verdungo. You can have Sting of Fears. Maybe it is even better option, because you have a lot of life with this build. But if you put Verdungo, you can put more points in your dexterity, but it's up to you. So this one or Sting of Fears. And you need Go Riders. I mean, you can have War Traveler, they also give damage, but for that Crushing Blow, I think in combination with this helm, you have 40% Crushing Blow. I think that's okay, especially because you swing very fast. And you can have High Lord Wrath as an amulet. All full shape-shifting killers plus life. You can replace this with plus 2 dexterity, because then you will get more attack rating. Then we have of course a torch. You don't have to have 2020 torch, you can have any torch you want. We have Annihilus, like you see it's not 2020 and I still have it. For small charms, I think best option is 5 to all resistances and 2 to dexterity because of attack rating. Life is okay, 20 to life and 5 to all resistances is also very good, very good, but those are expensive and you have life. I mean, you will have 4k hit points easy with this build without even trying. I like see these MRX, I couldn't get all. This is, I mean, perfect option in my opinion because of that attack rating. 2 to dexterity, that gives like 200 attack rating for this build. And more attack rating you have, more you hit, more you do damage. I made a, I think, a very good opinion in my video about Necromancer and Skeletals because they have low attack rating. It doesn't matter how much damage you buff your Skeletals. If they cannot hit, all the damage goes to waste. I mean, they swing, they don't hit. It doesn't matter if they do 20k damage. I mean, if they don't hit. So, let's see, all resistances, because Jalal main gives a lot of resistance. This gives only 10 resistances. And you need, for Uberans, you need maximum lighting resistance. So let's go for stats. Enough strength to equip your gear. Dexterity, I went 145 because of the attack rating. Vitality, 225 points. Nothing in energy. This is base 1. I'm level 86. So I think that's perfect. And of course you need call to arms and spirit. Now, skill tree. This is very easy skill tree. So nothing is elemental. Nothing. Shape-shifting. This is your main thing. So 20 points here, lycanthropy. 20 points in werewolf. If you want, you can make exactly the same equipment, and you can go Werber and Mal. You can go that route if you want. So if you want to be Werber or werewolf, it's up to you. Same items, everything the same, just you have different mechanic. And for Uberans, it's better to have Maul and Werber, because you will see later. I did an Uberan with this Fury Druid and Fury. When you swing, it hits also enemies around the bosses, and it splits the damage. And in Uberans, Uber Tristram, they summon a lot of minions around them, and you unnecessarily takes more time to kill them with Fury Druid than with Maul and Werber Druid. So we have 1 point here in start, then all the rest of your points you put here. So I'll get back to this. 1 point here and 20 here. Summoning skills. So we have 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here. We have 20 points here, 1 point here, and 1 point here. And when you spend all the points, you put the rest of the points here. That's the skill tree. How do you play this build? We have, like you see here, 2 buffs that Metamorphosis gives. We will take both of them. How do you do that? Let's go to Rigid Highland. And they last for 3 minutes. So you can have reasonably both of them. You go. You first summon your... Wait. We use Call to Arms. Then we summon our bear. Then we summon our spirit. You can summon your wolves. You can summon your ravens. But they don't do anything. And then you go into Werber form. We have a buff. You see there are little bubbles down there. That means we have the buff. Then you shapeshift back. You shapeshift to werewolf. You switch to your Breath of the Dying. And you just destroy it. Look at that attack speed. They're just insane. Insane. Let's go to Travincal. That's easy fun spot for this build. Whenever you exit an act, you have to transform again into your werewolf. Like you see this is just massacre. And I'll show this on player's 8 as well. And that's that. You basically on player 1 you one-shot everybody with this build. Because you have 20k damage with your fury. That just I don't know any other build that has that, but then I have this weapon, so you know, this is a lot of damage. I also want to mention the Mercenary. I think the Mercenary died. That's why I didn't hide. Let's fly her back. It happens with Act 1 Mercenary. Yeah, I forgot to put Fortitude, that's why she died. Anyway, you want to have Fortitude here as armor. We have Fateful with Fanaticism Aura. It gives us attack speed, it gives us damage, it gives us attack rating. I mean, this is important for this build. You can have Act 2 Mercenary with Blessed Dame Aura as well. I mean, you can have anything you want. I mean, even you can have Act 2 Mercenary with, with Hustle, because Hustle also gives Fanaticism, but level 1. You can have that option. That's much cheaper option because it only takes 3 runes, and Ethereal Treasure is very cheap. It has 3 sockets. This is very cheap item you can make. That's a more budget option. Let's say it like that. And for Helm we have Andariel's Visage, because I think that's the best option, and when this item gives plus 32 strength to your Act 1 Mercenary, then you can equip high strength requirement armor. I mean, you do not have to spend 15 bare runes for Archon plate. You can have it in any ethereal plate that requires more strength, more than 100 strength. Because you see, it has only 139 strength on this level. So now we'll see how this build performs in Uberans and how this build performs in player 8 Travincal.